Hey guys, this is Rich, and I'm here with Caleb.
Hey guys.
And we're going to take a look at the last story, and specifically we're actually going to walk through the entire first chapter and give you guys a real sense of what this Wii exclusive RPG is like. I mean, basically, first off, I should make it clear that this hasn't been announced for North America yet. It's been announced in Europe, and it actually came out in Japan about a few months ago. And so we're kind of taking an educated guess here, and you know, assuming this game actually shows up here, we want to give you guys an early look at it. So, and you know, a couple notes right off the bat. This is directed by Hironobu Sakaguchi,
Yep.
who is basically the creator of Final Fantasy. But this is actually his first time directing a game in decades. His last directorial job was Final Fantasy V.
Yeah, he was actually credited as the father of Final Fantasy.
Yeah.
He didn't direct or produce Final Fantasy 1, but I think he directed 2 through 5 and then produced a couple other ones.
Yeah, and I mean, he was a big key creator at Square for many years until leaving and forming Mistwalker Studios, who's creating this. So, actually, I mean, Caleb, so you're actually the one kind of running through this right now. Why don't you kind of give us a sense of how this game's controlling?
Yeah, so I'm playing as Quark right now. You play as a group of mercenaries. Quark is the leader of the mercenaries. He's not actually the main character in the game, but he's who you start playing as.
Oh, okay.
This tutorial is showing me how to hide. By pressing the A button, you can duck behind cover.
Okay, so this is more of like an action-oriented RPG, or is there turn-based elements?
It's definitely an action RPG.
Okay.
So you can hide behind cover there, hop up over. Same deal.
Gotcha.
Run up to the guy, and it's starting to run away from me. There we go, I got him.
So and then
So you
and
maneuver using the analog stick.
Mm-hmm.
From what I've played so far, there's no real Wiimote use. It's mostly all analog stick and buttons.
Cool.
You can use
Not so much waggle then, huh?
You can use a
That's
classic
awesome.
controller. Yeah.
Oh, okay, very cool.
Not any waggle that I've seen so far.
Very awesome. Yeah, so I mean, so you're dealing with a group of mercenaries here, and I guess they're coming to a place called Ruli Island, looking for work. Basically, is my understanding of it. And I mean, so how quickly do you get introduced to the cast here? You mentioned you're not even actually your main character. When do you meet your main character?
Very shortly. This
Okay.
is just a quick battle tutorial showing you how to move around and how to attack. It's interesting, actually. In order to do the regular sword slash, all you have to do is kind of run up at an enemy, and it auto targets and auto attacks.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
So you see I run up there. I don't even need to press anything.
You're not pressing
It just
anything right now. You're
attacks
just
automatically.
okay. Cool. And then how much commands are you like issuing to your partner, or will you issue to your partner?
Right now, I'm not issuing any commands to my partner.
Okay.
There are commands that later in the game you will start issuing commands to partners, and also, I believe, I'm not sure. I know there is a co-op element to the game, 6-player co-op, correct? But I'm not sure how much of that co-op is actually able. How much co-op you can do in the campaign.
Yeah, I mean,
Or if it's a separate mode. I mean, we only have imported the one copy of the game.
Exactly.
So
yeah.
we haven't been able to play around with it that much yet.
We're sort of exploring it as you guys, you know, are watching this to some degree. I mean, Caleb's played a little bit further ahead, but you know, we're kind of experiencing this for the first time.
This is introducing you to the main character, Elsa.
Oh, okay, right here,
So,
Elsa
yeah,
on the
that's
left
who
there.
I am now.
Okay, cool. So now, I mean, like, what's Elsa's deal? Like, what is? I mean, is he joining the group, or do they just run into him? Is that the idea? Or?
Well, Rich, unfortunately, my Japanese is terrible, and everything that I know about this game is purely just from playing it.
Yeah, sure.
So this is what it's showing you how to do here is how to use your crossbow. See, it's telling me to press the Z button. So if I hold the Z button,
Okay.
it gives me the crossbow option. I can target that, and this is actually telling me that I can issue the command to Eurus, the other guy with me,
Okay.
to use his magic on these pillars.
Okay, gotcha.
So using the D-pad, using the analog stick, I'll select the left option.
Okay. So I mean, there is
Eurus,
some sort of
you see
limited.
the countdown
Oh,
there.
I see there. Yeah.
Eurus is going to launch a fire attack on that pillar, knocking it over.
So there's some limited environment interactivity.
Yep.
Okay. Very cool.
And there's kind of different ways to approach each battle. That way, obviously, taking out the pillars is faster and a little more efficient than just running up to the guys and slashing them.
In terms of like the amount you've played, how many characters typically operate with you? It looks like there were 4 there.
Right now, I'm
meeting
meeting up with the rest of them. The first 2 characters you saw earlier, Quark and
Siren?
yeah, Saren. So there's 4 of us right now.
Okay.
All right, using the Z button again. I'll target that again. All right, new tutorial. What do we have here?
So most of the first chapter that we're going to be showing people then is a tutorial showing you basic commands, basic attacks.
Gameplay tutorial, yeah.
All right, sure.
Now, see here, I can use my crossbow. I'm holding the Z button to zoom in. Sorry, Z button to target, and then the B button to zoom in.
Wow.
And then using the A button, I can shoot my crossbow.
Gotcha.
Knock these guys off the.
It's interesting that it kind of mixes like a lot of like very action-oriented gameplay versus the more turn-based stuff. But then you still have your team commands, and that sort of seems to operate on a team turn-based tactic.
And actually, you see here is it's a fire spell that I believe Eurus cast, but it gives me an elemental. You know, if you saw my sword sort of started burning, it adds an elemental element to my sword attack.
Interesting. And then it looks like we've got typical experience point system, level up system. From what you've noticed, do you have to really micromanage your characters like a lot of our JRPGs, or does it seem to kind of just they upgrade and that sort of thing on their own? Or
I haven't played enough yet.
Okay, sure.
I know that there are. I mean, it's definitely an RPG still.
Yeah, sure.
Even though there are action elements. So I know you do need to buy armor and equipment and your stats upgrade. And,
Sure. Okay. Well, it looks like we're fighting a bigger dude now.
Yep.
Is that like is that a pretty typical enemy size for you, or I mean do they get a lot bigger?
This is a larger enemy. It's not really a boss battle. It's sort of like a mini boss.
Sure,
it's not putting up much of a fight. I'm just sort of pounding away at it right now.
Right. Now, I mean, I've seen you issuing commands, maybe the magic attack and destroying the environments and stuff like that. Are your guys more or less just attacking these guys on their own, or are you really like having to do micromanagement?
They're pretty much doing it all on their own. This is all AI controlled at the moment.
Okay, cool.
Only thing I'm really controlling is Elsa, and then I can command Eurus to use his fire.
Okay. So you're not actually able to switch around between folks, right? It's just mostly your main guy. Okay, cool.
A little cutscene for you.
Gotcha. It's like a flashback then, I guess, huh? Yeah.
Sort of introducing you to all the characters.
All right, gotcha. It's actually pretty good graphics, I have to say, for Wii. Character models. I mean, pretty typical JRPG fare in terms of character design, but good graphics.
It's got a cool art style too.
Yeah.
It does something a little bit different. Mistwalker also did Blue Dragon on the Xbox. So obviously this looks very different from that.
Yeah, definitely. It does remind me a lot, though, just of Final Fantasy games, especially the more modern ones.
Music in the game is also by Uematsu, who did a lot of traditional Final Fantasy music.
Yeah, and this seems to be much more fantasy based, kind of grounded versus like the more tech-oriented stuff that a lot of more modern Final Fantasy games have been going into.
Yeah, I think it actually was part of their mission was to keep a lot of the sci-fi elements out of this game.
Right. That's actually good news for me because
save point right there.
Okay, gotcha.
So it's all manual save points.
Yeah, fun.